everyone, welcome to our virtual Hubble's 30th anniversary. My name's Selena. I'm from the International Museum of Arts and Science. Thank you so much for joining us. For the next 2 hours, we'll be celebrating Hubble Space Telescope 30th anniversary launch aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery. To honor that occasion, the Space Telescope Science Institute planned out the celebration by choosing different museums, science centers, and organizations to display Hubble's 30th anniversary image, Cosmic Reef. The IMAS was one of the few museums chosen to showcase this beautiful image, and we're very thankful to STSI for giving us this opportunity to share Hubble's 30th anniversary with our community, you guys. This evening we'll be doing various activities that you can follow along with. We were able to create 100 kits for participants to join us with 3 activities that we have planned today. Thank you all for celebrating with us the Hubble Space Telescope's 30th anniversary and this amazing piece of technology that is helping us understand our vast universe. If you didn't get to sign up for our kit, I encourage you to follow along with us with the activities. Most of the materials you need are found around your home. Hola, bienvenidos a nuestra celebración virtual de Hubble's 30th aniversario. Me llamo Selena y yo soy del Museo Internacional de Arte y Ciencia. Gracias por acompañándome hoy en nuestra celebración. Durante las próximas 2 horas vamos a celebrar el lanzamiento de Hubble Space Telescope a bordo del transbordador espacial Discovery. Para honrar esta ocasión, el Instituto de Ciencia del Telescopio Espacial planeó esta celebración eligiendo diferentes museos, centros científicos y otras organizaciones para exhibir la imagen del 30 aniversario del Hubble Cosmic Reef. El IMAS fue uno de los pocos museos a ser elegido para mostrar esta hermosa imagen. Estamos agradecidos a STSI por dándonos esta maravillosa oportunidad de compartir el 30 aniversario con nuestra comunidad, todos ustedes. Pudimos crear 100 paquetes para ustedes con suministros para seguir juntos las actividades que hemos planeado para hoy. Si has podido conseguir un paquete, gracias por ser parte de esta celebración y espero que te diviertas creando con nosotros y celebrando el telescopio Hubble, que es una increíble pieza de tecnología que nos está ayudando a entender nuestro universo. Si no conseguiste un paquete, Te animo que sigas con nosotros. La mayoría de los materiales que se encuentran en los paquetes son materiales que puedes agregar en tu casa. Thank you so much for being a part of the celebration, and I hope you have fun creating with us. So let's go ahead and get started with unpacking the Hubble kit.
I'm Claudia from the IMAS, and I wanted to show you what was inside the Hubble kit that we gave out. So if you were lucky enough to stop by this morning, you would have received one of these Hubble kits. Inside, we have all of the printed materials, the lessons, and the necessary supplies to complete the activities. There are 3 activities included that are perfect for family learning, and we also provided activity sheets from NASA to celebrate the Hubble anniversary. Inside, you'll find some coloring pages, a couple of puzzles, and a Hubble decoder activity if you wanted to learn how to code. The first activity I'll go over is the Pinwheel Galaxy. Here you have the provided lesson with the visual steps and the descriptions, and this is provided in both English and Spanish. You also have your Pinwheel Galaxy template, so you'll have to cut this out eventually. Please know that scissors and a hole punch or something to poke the holes with is not provided in the kit. If you have a pair of scissors that are sharp, you might be able to poke the holes like this, or you can use a thumbtack if you don't have a hole punch at home. I'm most excited for the pinwheel activity because you're gonna get to learn about different galaxy shapes. Can you guess what shape this is? I love learning about space, and I hope you do too. Inside these lessons, you'll find some introductory information on galaxies and information about stars as well. You can always find more information about anything about the universe at nasa.gov. You also have one pipe cleaner that you will need for the pinwheel activity and a popsicle stick. We also have another activity called Design Your Own Mission Patch. And you have a brief description of the activity and a couple of spaces below to design 2 mission patches. And on the back, it's provided in Spanish. For the mission patch activity, you will need some coloring supplies and some scissors to cut out your finished designs. We've also included for you guys an IMAS collectible patch. These are sold in our gift shop. On the back, it has a little history of the museum. The last activity provided in your kit is Galaxy Slime. Here you have the lesson in both English and Spanish with some information about the Hubble space image. And step-by-step directions of how to make the slime. We've also included all the supplies that you will need except for a bowl or something to mix the slime in. We have clear glue for you, and we also have contact solution, baking soda, and glitter. If you have other colored glitter at home, you could definitely throw that into the slime. And lastly, we have another popsicle stick that you will need to stir the slime together. items are pre-measured out for you. So all you have to do is throw them in a bowl and mix them together. Let's all give a big round of applause to the IMAS education team for preparing 100 of these kits to give families a great experience for the Hubble 30th anniversary celebration. Yay! Will we walk you through these 3 activities together and show a replay of our Workshop Wednesday galaxy painting video. We will also provide more in-depth information on what Hubble is, what it does, and the cool images it takes pictures of. Stay tuned for the next clip, which will show you how to access these lessons and supply lists at home so you can get ready to celebrate with us. If you were unable to receive a kit from the museum, please visit our website at theimasonline.org to find out more information of how you can participate in the Hubble 30th celebration at home. If you go to our website and you hover over Events and Programs, a drop-down menu will appear. Go down to Hubble 30th Anniversary and click. It will take you to our Hubble page. If you scroll down, you'll find information about the unveiling celebration. It started on August 7th when we unveiled the Hubble Anniversary Image banner on our grounds, which is featured outdoors, so you can stop by and take a picture with it anytime. If you do take a picture with it, share your selfie online with us by tagging us and using the hashtag Hubble30, and of course, we're doing the virtual Hubble celebration today. So if you scroll down to the Hubble virtual celebration, you'll find all of the activities listed. Here we have the Pinwheel Galaxy, Design Your Own Mission Patch, and Galaxy Slime. If you click on the title of the activity, it will launch the lesson plans for you to download and print. Or you can just keep them up on your computer if you are unable to print at home. Each lesson is also provided in Spanish. Don't forget to print the Pinwheel template, which you will need in order to complete the Pinwheel Galaxy activity. Just launch the link, it'll open in a new tab, and you will be able to print directly from your computer. Now let me show you all about the Mission Patch activity. Again, you click the title to launch the lesson in a new tab. For the Design Your Own Mission Patch, you will need to print the lesson so you have the template to color on. And the third activity is Galaxy Slime. Again, click the title and it'll launch the lesson. Below, it shows you step by step how to make the slime. Below each activity, we have the supplies that you will need. Now scrolling down, you will find information about Cosmic Reef, which is the beautiful image for this year's celebration. And below that, we have some activities for you to do at home. You could just click this image and it'll launch into the PDF. The PDF has links in the title, so all you have to do is click them and it'll launch to the activity. If I scroll down more, I will see that I'm able to see view space at home. Click that link, it'll take you to viewspace.org. You have access to their library of videos that are free to watch. Now going back to the Hubble page, you can continue scrolling and find other resources, such as the Hubble Space Telescope Live Cam, which is so fun to see. This is real-time view of what Hubble is looking at right now. You can also download the Hubble Space Telescope activity sheets provided by NASA. These were provided in the kits that we gave out, and really fun for everybody to do. We were so thankful for the Space Telescope Science Institute. Thanks to them, we were able to participate in this fantastic nationwide event. I know you're going to have fun during this Hubble adventure, so buckle in and get ready to blast off.
The Hubble Space Telescope has given us an incredible image for its 30th birthday. This image reveals a beautiful nursery for new stars in a nearby satellite galaxy to our own Milky Way. The bright, newly formed stars in the middle of this image are at least 10 times more massive than our Sun. Powerful radiation from these stars is causing the surrounding gas to glow in stunning colors. The blue indicates oxygen gas heated to nearly 20,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The red indicates the presence of nitrogen and hydrogen. Those massive stars are also driving powerful winds of charged particles which are sculpting out the bubble and ridge structures we can see across the nebula. The blue nebula at the lower left of the image is actually material ejected from a single huge star in the center. That star is 200,000 times brighter than our Sun. The whole region shows how dynamic our universe is, with stars continuing to form and affect their surroundings, and it's Hubble's exquisite vision from its orbit above Earth's atmosphere that gives us the ability to get a clear glimpse of this kind of incredible beauty and activity. The Hubble Space Telescope has changed the way we think of space and our place in the universe. Hubble has refined our understanding of the age of the universe and its rate of expansion, and through its deep fields it has peered across billions of light years to reveal ancient adolescent galaxies we can compare with our own Milky Way. It has shown us the telltale effects of mysterious dark energy and dark matter, and it has given us a front row seat to these beautiful interstellar clouds and nebulas where new stars and their surrounding disks of dust and planets continue to form. Hubble is in excellent technical health and is expected to continue its exploration of the universe for quite a few years to come. Multiple astronaut missions to service the Hubble Space Telescope over the years have kept Hubble at the forefront of capability. With each servicing mission, astronauts repaired or replaced instrumentation, keeping Hubble better than ever before. The final servicing mission in 2009 was extremely successful, so that even today, Hubble is more scientifically powerful and productive than ever before. You can find out more about the Hubble Space Telescope at the website nasa.gov/Hubble and on social media at NASA Hubble.
Hello everybody, we're back, and now we're going to start with the first activity. It's going to be the Pinwheel Galaxy activity. As you can see, I decided to dress for the occasion, and and as you can see, we have everything in front of us that we're going to need. Okay, so we have our instructions here. We have a pipe cleaner, we have a popsicle stick, and we have some extra stuff here that you probably have at home, which is some scissors and a hole puncher. So yeah, make sure you gather these up and put them next to you so that we can start. And this is the final product, by the way. So as far as we know, there are 3 types of galaxies. There is a spiral galaxy, an elliptical galaxy, and a irregular galaxy. And our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, is a spiral galaxy. And this is why we decided to do something like this, because it closely resembles that our galaxy. And as you all know, or maybe do not know, a galaxy is a cluster of stars, dust, and gases that are floating around the universe, traveling together. The galaxies were formed billions of years after the Big Bang, and it's the idea that it started with a little explosion, smaller than an atom, so that is way smaller than what we can see, right? And from there, stars started to be created along with some planets, and little by little, it created a galaxy, and now there are billions of galaxies. And as far as we know, there's more galaxies being made to this day, and the universe is still expanding, and that's what the Hubble telescope has taught us and proven to us since we've sent it there after 1990. Our galaxy travels around the universe along with all of its stars, planets, and moons. Yeah, this is why we're creating our own little galaxy. As you can see, this is a spiral galaxy as well. And with this, you can kind of simulate how it is. So if you say that this background is space, because it has stars, you can just move it around, kind of simulating how a galaxy moves. And it does not move fast, but the space is very vast. Okay, let's get started. And again, if you do not have one of these papers, you can go to our website and print one out. This way you can follow me and we can work on it together. We're gonna get started by grabbing some scissors and our worksheet. And the first step is begin by cutting out a hexagonal shape on your Pinwheel galaxy sheet. Okay, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. You want to follow the steps exactly so that we won't get lost. So don't get ahead. We gotta work on this together, right? So I'm cutting it out right here. Be careful. Don't be playing around with scissors. If you need adult guidance or anything, be sure to ask an older brother of yours or your parents, anybody really. And you can see all the lights that the stars just give out. There we go, we're almost done. Yeah, that is number 1, or step number 1. We're gonna put it right here. Get rid of this paper. And now we're gonna go ahead and go into step number 2. Make cuts down each of the white lines. So we're gonna grab our hexagon and cut all the way to the end of the white lines, okay? Do not cut all the way across because that will mess up the activity. So that's 2. This is 3. 4. If you're wondering what those white dots are, those are going to be important for the next step, okay? And 6. So this is the shape that it's going to take. It looks kind of like a flower, a little bit. We're going to put it down and read step number 3. Okay, punch holes in the white dots, 6 around the edges and 1 in the center. You may have to fold the hexagon over to reach the center. Okay, so you're gonna grab a hole puncher or anything that you can punch holes with. It can even be a pencil. Just be careful. Again, if you need someone older to help you out, be sure to ask. So I have mine right here, my hole puncher. Okay, so I would like for you all to comment down below what galaxy is your favorite? What type of galaxy is your favorite? For me, it's the irregular galaxy, just because it just doesn't have a shape. But I see how a lot of people like a spiral galaxy or even a elliptical galaxy. And that's the last one, excluding the one in the middle. And you might have torn one, but that's okay. That's really no big deal, okay? Just like me. So we're gonna fold it in half. We're gonna hole punch the middle right here. And there we have it. We're gonna continue. Step number 4. Turn the paper so it's face down and thread the pipe cleaner through the center hole. Okay, and you can see that I already turned it upside down. I'm gonna stick it right here through the middle. And then this is where number 5 comes in. So what we're gonna do is grab each one of these flaps and put the pipe cleaner through the holes that we made for each of them. So kind of like this. Yeah, don't make it too long, the pipe cleaner. Kind of like this. So that's one. And we're gonna do the same thing for each of the flaps. It's 2. That's 3. Yeah, it doesn't really matter which order you put them. So it is kind of random. It's up to you. 4. This is 5. And this is going to be 6, the final one. Okay, so you can see the shape already starting to form. And then what you're gonna do is to tie a knot on top of where the pipe cleaner is. Pull the pipe cleaner all the way through. Just remember to be careful so that we don't rip any paper. And then we're gonna tie it here. this is already step 6. So we're gonna move on to step 7. And in here it says, wrap the other side of the pipe cleaner around the popsicle stick. Don't make it too tight or it won't be able to move, okay? So we're gonna get a popsicle stick and we're gonna just wrap it around, okay? Kind of like this. But just make sure to not make it too tight, like it says in the instructions, so that it would be able to, so that it's able to spin like this. Now that we have our Pinwheel Galaxy completed, now we can actually make it spin if we blow on this part of the wheel. There we go. Okay, we are done, and thank you for doing this activity with me. Just be sure to stick around because educator Selena, she's actually gonna be telling you how to make slime and a mission patch. If you followed along, be sure to share your work with us using hashtag IMASartist.
today we're going to be creating some mission patches. So mission patches are found on astronaut suits, usually either on the left or right hand side. And for every space flight, there is a special design made with the patches. It usually includes the mission number, the crew's name, that including the commander and all the other crew members as well, and usually the space flight, the name of it as well. There are also different elements on each patch that you'll find if you do your own independent research. We will be covering some patches here in a bit, and I'll show you some examples. So there's different elements on each mission patch depending on what kind of mission it is, if it's based on research or maybe just fixing something on the ISS or even the Hubble telescope. So today we're going to be creating our own mission patch, and I'll be covering some of the research that the scientists do on the ISS and the different experiments that they're conducting up there. So that way it can give you some inspiration on what you want your patch to be like. These patches have been around since 1965. This is from around July 2005. And this patch was specifically designed for the space shuttle called Columbia. And so as we can see here, we see the blue shuttle rising above Earth's horizon. And this usually is seen with some stars up here. And this is a way to commemorate the space crew that was on this flight. You can see their names up here. Usually their names are put into the patch, as well as the space flight. So that's one of the patches that we have here. This is another one here. This one is from a little bit older. It's from 1999, and this was also specifically designed by the crew members. Most of the time, there are other artists that create these patches. Back then it was easier for the crew to design it and made it special to themselves. This is the space shuttle Discovery, actually discovering the Hubble telescope. And it has the name of the crew members as well. And this is when the Hubble telescope was launched into orbit. So this is a patch from that mission. Recent experiments or patches that were done is research on microalgae. The scientific term is Hematococcus pluvialis. It's a little bit hard to pronounce. But it's basically this microalgae that is supposed to help the crew members during the long process from Earth to outer space. And they're doing research on that now, and they do have made a patch on it. It basically shows a little flask, and it has some sort of substance in it. That is for that mission. But there's also other missions that there has been done. There's other research done as well. A lot of the times they do research on bone density and gravity, since in space there is basically little to none gravity, and it does have an effect on our muscles and our bones. And they keep track and they have data on all those experiments done. There's also Earth and Science experiments to learn. Since there is a better vantage point, we're able to see better from outer space down here on Earth. So we can learn a little bit more about what we have here, our agricultural fields, even what's out in the sea. We can get a better understanding of it from out there. And there's also the physical science part of it, just learning about how gravity is different up there than it is down here. Because obviously here on Earth, we're not floating. But if you were on the ISS, you would be floating because of the lack of gravity. So now that we know a little bit more about about the mission patches and what they represent, and we're gonna go ahead and create our own. So now that we learned a little bit more about the mission patches and what they represent, we're gonna go ahead and begin with this activity. We're gonna design our own mission patch. So we know that the mission patches are found on the spacesuits and also just their regular gear that they wear in the ISS. We learned a little bit more about the research that's done and how we can incorporate that into our patches. So since we are celebrating Hubble's 30th anniversary, I was thinking maybe we could do an image of Hubble and kind of like this patch, but maybe we can make the Hubble's telescope a little bit larger since we are celebrating its 30th anniversary. And since I'm not a great artist, I did go ahead and pull up an image of Hubble so I can draw that on here, and hopefully you can follow along with my drawing. Of course, you can always do your own design. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. If you'd like to do your design on maybe plants, because they do a lot of research on plants up at the ISS, you can also do it on that. Or if you'd like to do it on maybe on one of the planets, whatever is fine for you. So I'm going to begin by drawing a circle here, and this is just going to be the lens of the Hubble telescope, and then we can kind of begin to draw the body out. And the Hubble telescope does sort of represent or sort of resemble a regular telescope that we would find here on Earth, but obviously it's a lot bigger. I'm not the greatest artist, so it might resemble it, it might not do so well. I did go ahead and bring up an image of it just so I can get a better look of it. That way I'm not messing up. So this is the body of it that I've drawn. I'm just using a pencil right now because later we're going to be using some markers, maybe even some crayons to color it in. And we're going to go ahead and draw the solar panels since it is powered by the sun. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And we'll just go ahead and draw the solar panels here. The solar panels are a little bit squared. I'm not sure if you can really see because I'm drawing a little bit lightly. But once we begin to color, you'll be able to see a better image of it. And I'm drawing the Hubble here because I'm sort of imagining that if we were to go on a mission Maybe we're heading on a mission to the Hubble telescope. Maybe we're there to add some new technology to it. Maybe to fix some issues that it's having. It can be whatever you'd like it to be. And so there we have our Hubble telescope. So now that I finished my Hubble telescope here, I want to go ahead and draw a space shuttle. And I looked up an image for that as well, but you can make it completely your own. You don't have to do it exactly as I'm doing. And I'm just going to begin with the body of the space shuttle. If you'd like, you can also drop a comment letting us know where you're watching from, maybe what kind of mission patch you guys are making, if you guys are making any different ones than I am. It'd be awesome to know. So I've made the body here. It's not going to completely fit since it's a little bit too big, but it doesn't have to be completely perfect as long as it's in there. But maybe your mission patch might be completely different than mine. So what kind of research do you all think that the scientists do up in space in the ISS besides what we covered today? Do you think there's anything else that I might have missed or that you all think might be happening right now? Let's go ahead and, so it has like these little lines that go around, and this is sort of to resemble the round shape of the, so it does have a screen here, or sorry, a window for the front, and then you can add this to show that this is the top. This can be the wing. And then it has another wing going this way, but it doesn't fit anymore. So we'll just work with that. Let's add some lines to this, since there probably is a glare. I kind of want to add like little stars. Remember, each patch is unique to your mission. So whatever mission you imagine or think of that you want to do, you can do that as well. Maybe they are studying underwater creatures from the ISS and you want to do a mission to the ISS that talks about creatures in the ocean. Things that we haven't learned about yet. Or maybe they're studying new planets that we don't know about and that we're just discovering. And so I'm just trying to fit these little stars in here. And once I think I've drawn enough, we can start coloring. Maybe you guys can talk about what you guys are making in the comments. Or maybe you guys know some fun facts about the Hubble telescope. Let's see, I've got another one here. So this activity will be found in your kit, and you'll be able to cut these out if you'd like and put them on your shirt or maybe your jacket. There's also this patch included that you can keep and put on one of your jackets if you'd like. I'm gonna start with blue. I have markers. You guys can use color pencils, you guys can use crayons, whatever you'd like. And I'm just gonna outline it blue. I'm assuming that it's blue. I don't know if this looks weird. It's fine. Outlining here what I've drawn, so now you're able to sort of see a little bit better what it is I've drawn. So I drew these here as the solar panels, and I'm just going to draw some lines. I'm just gonna go in lightly. I used to do this a lot when I was younger. I would outline my drawings with a marker, and I would go in really lightly with a color pencil or a crayon. I don't know if it's popular now, but I remember that was like a big thing when I was younger. While we're coloring here, you can also tell us how much, or scratch that. I was trying to think of a question and I couldn't. So I'm gonna do the panels a different color, maybe like a grayish, if I have gray, because I'm assuming that the panels are a different color. Oh, we can also do the background of the patch, maybe black. If you'd like, you don't have to do the stars. You can do maybe some planets. Maybe you can do the sun outside as well. And maybe even a galaxy, since the first activity that you guys did was the Pinwheel galaxy. Maybe you guys can make some galaxies. I don't know, I think I did it too dark. It's okay. I was trying to make it look gray, but I didn't have gray, so I tried using this color, the black, to make it look a little bit gray. And I kind of just want to go in lightly on the lens. So the Hubble telescope, it's actually a lot different than the telescopes we have here. The reason that it can capture images really well is because it's in outer space. Usually here on Earth, our telescopes the atmosphere is blocking for like a way that you're able to see a clear picture. It blocks it in a way that you're not able to see it. But since the Hubble is out in space, it doesn't have that block. And so you're able to see it clearly, which is really cool. It's essential to us in the sense that we are able to learn everything around us about our universe and everything beyond that. So I'm gonna do the stars next. I should have done the background, but it's okay. I'm just gonna go into the stars here. I'm just gonna cut it fully. Do any of you have telescopes that you guys use on a daily basis, or you can leave that in the comment section as well. Do any of you want to become astronauts? I think it was everyone's dream at once to become an astronaut. So I'm going to trace the space shuttle. So you also have another patch on this side in case, let's say you didn't really like this design, you can do it on this side as well. But the patches can come in any shape. So most of the time it's in the circle patches, but I have seen some that are more of a triangular shape. So you can make yourself 2 patches as well. Oh, and if you'd like, you can also tag us with the hashtags explore IMAS, IMAS artists, so you can show us what you guys created. It'd be awesome to see. It kind of looks like a shuttle. So I don't have gray, so I'm going to try using black and using it lightly. I'm just going to shade in. If you guys have gray, or maybe you want your space shuttle a different color, completely different color, you can do that. You can do blue, red, pink, purple, or maybe you just want it the whole rainbow color. We can have a rainbow colored shuttle. And so this is how it's looking so far. If you'd like to share the process in the comments as well, you can do that on how your patch is coming out. And that's my space shuttle. I think I kind of want to trace silver with stars, but I don't have black. I have a pen. So if you didn't get to get the kit, and you can still follow along with us, a lot of the times you can kind of just create a circle and make your own patch. You can get creative with it. A lot of the times with the activities that we have here, it's mostly with materials that you have around your house. I'm just tracing the stars here because I want them to pop out more, but I didn't have a marker, so I'm improvising and I'm using a pen. So once you're done, we can go ahead and cut it out and we can tape it onto maybe a shirt or a jacket that you have. And this mission will be called, let's call it Hubble's 30th anniversary, because it's its birthday and we're celebrating that. What you guys can do is you can cut it out and then you can patch it on. You can tape it on. You can tape it onto a shirt or a jacket and even share it with us with using the hashtags. Also, don't forget to put your name because you're part of this mission, and that way it makes it special as well. This is our patch. Thank you so much for joining us today. I had so much fun making this with you guys, and I can't wait to see what your answers are about what kind of patches that you guys made. Well, thank you so much, guys.
The IMAS gift shop offers great gifts and souvenirs for both adults and children. We have many items, even space-themed items like apparel, toys, books, posters, puzzles, and science kits. We have astronaut suits, helmets, and even backpacks. These fun items invite curiosity and a love of learning through play. And you're never too old to play. We also have great items to accessorize your office. And we have tons of slime. We have Jupiter juice, glow-in-the-dark Mars mud, and galactic ooze. We also have souvenir watches, and great mugs for your morning coffee. This book is really cool. You download an app and the book comes to life through a 4D application. We also have IMAS branded items like these small tumblers, water bottles, these cute little mini backpacks, pins, and keychains. We also have pencils and ornaments. Our gift shop has beautiful and high-quality rock, mineral, and fossil specimens, appropriate for a beginner or student collection. We also have jewelry made from gemstones and minerals, and all sorts of rock kits. In addition to our science kits, we also have art kits and exhibit catalogs. I love coming in here to see what new stickers we have and collecting them on my laptop. Every purchase supports the programs and exhibits at the International Museum of Art and Science. We have great consignment items from local artists that are unique to the IMAS gift shop. Coming soon, the IMAS gift shop will be offering personal shopping via Zoom and curbside pickup. Call the IMAS gift shop for more information at 682-1564. Museum admission is not required to visit the shop, so you can stop by anytime during our open hours. Remember that IMAS members receive a 10% discount on all gift shop sales, excluding consignment items. We all want to support local artists. Thank you for your continued support of the International Museum of Art and Sciences mission to deepen the appreciation of arts and sciences. Hi everyone, I wanted to show you a few online resources to expand your learning about the Hubble telescope at home. This first page is What Did Hubble See on Your Birthday? And it's really cool because you can just put in your birthday and it'll show you an image that Hubble took sometime in its 30-year history. So I'm going to go ahead and put in birthday here. You just put the month and the date. And you click submit and then something pops up. This is really cool. We have a supernova image from 2002. You can click over here at the top to see the full image. You can zoom in and move it around. And then you can just exit out of that other tab that it opened and go back and click more information, and it'll tell you very specific details about your image. There's also options on the left hand to download the image for sharing on social media or setting as your desktop background. So then going back, I'm going to click the red X to restart, or you can actually click these icons to share the image on social media. So I'm going to do another birthday here. I'm going to go to March. And March 20th, which is my mom's birthday. Submit. Oh, cool. So this is an image from 1996, Colliding Galaxies. Let's see it. Oh, cool. Yeah, this is the full size. It's very cool. And click out of that. And I want to learn more about this image. So bird's eye view of a galaxy collision. And you scroll down. Wow, this one has a lot of information about it. That's very neat. And if you scroll all the way down, you have very specific scientific information. And then of course you can always download the image. Click out of that. At the bottom, there's a text version for screen readers, which is really great. So scrolling back up, you hear on the right-hand side, there are other resources to celebrate Hubble's 30th anniversary that you can click on. So Hubble stargazing, this is great if you're an avid telescope user. You click on that and it'll have some challenges for you, some easy challenges for novice telescope users, and then some more challenging objects to find in the sky. Now going back to that other page, we have 30 years, 30 images. This is really cool. This is a Flickr album of one image from each year of Hubble's history. Here we have Cosmic Reef from this year, and you can just scroll through these. All of them are just so beautiful and fantastic. If you click on one, it'll open up, and then you can zoom in pretty close to see the colors and just the beautiful structure of it. Wow, the detail is just incredible. Let me get out of this, and then scrolling down, we have some information about the image itself. And Flickr is really great because you can just click these tabs to view other albums on there that are relative to galaxies or nebulas. And you're scrolling down, we have more beautiful images from Hubble's history to look at. Oh my gosh, these are just fantastic. Whoa. So neat. I love how different all of the images are. And there's Jupiter right there. So going back to this birthday page, I'm going to click on download resources, and here we have some different posters and things that anyone can download and print on their own if you wanted to celebrate Hubble in this sort of way. You can also download these activity sheets or this lithograph, which is really cool because it has very specific information on the Cosmic Reef image and the two galaxies that are featured, the two objects that are featured in there. And you can print this out at home and have a little mini Cosmic Reef poster of your own to hang up in your bedroom or to frame, or to have maybe in your workspace as inspiration. And one of the other resources is a podcast series that you can listen to for free. Here we have a couple of episodes, and you can always just look up NASA's Curious Universe on different platforms. Here it goes into the SoundCloud website, and you can stream it for free. Super cool. On the left-hand side here, there's different menu options. Let's go to the digital library, which has, again, lots of images for free access, ebooks, fact sheets that you can download. If you go to mission operations, you can actually take a tour of where they operate the telescope from. And here we have a 360 tour of the Goddard Space Flight Center. I'm going to go to online activities here and show you that there are so many things that you can do at home to continue the learning on your own. A 360 tour of the spacecraft itself, which I've taken. It's really cool. It's like you're in space. This interactive history timeline, just really neat stuff that you can really delve into the history of the Hubble telescope on your own. This is just great for family learning altogether. And of course, there's more videos on their YouTube channel and career options, etc. So going to the Hubble Space Telescope main page by clicking that blue arrow, you have the freshest, newest information there. I'm going to go to another website called hubblesite.org, and this one is specific for the Hubble Space Telescope's 30 Years of Discovery campaign. Wow, this graphic is just beautiful. So scrolling down, you can keep up with the latest news about Hubble snapping really cool space objects. You can look at more images and more videos. I'm going to go up to the menu on the right-hand side and click on Hubble 30th Anniversary. There's this really great video that you can watch to give you an introduction to the campaign. Scrolling all the way down, we're going to see anniversary materials. There's specific articles you can read, 3D images to explore, anniversary events to explore, which is what you're participating in now with us, and more resources that you can do at home. So I hope you had fun learning about these two awesome websites that you can explore, and thanks so much for joining us for this celebration.
Welcome back to another Workshop Wednesday with the IMAS. Today's video features a beautiful watercolor galaxy in honor of the 30th anniversary of NASA's Hubble Space Telescope launch aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery. This stunning new image called Cosmic Reef was officially unveiled to the public. The IMAS was one of only 74 organizations who were chosen after a rigorous selection process to display Hubble's 30th anniversary image. This banner will be exhibited on the outside of the IMAS building for a full year, we encourage you to come out, take a selfie, and use the hashtags Hubble30 and Explore IMAS for a chance to be featured on IMAS social media. For this project, you will definitely need some watercolor paper and watercolor paints of your choice. As you can see here, I planned for some metallic watercolors, but I learned through trial and error that it wasn't for me. You'll also need a cup of water, painter's tape or masking tape, and an old towel or paper towel sheets. This is optional, but I like to use a ceramic plate to mix my paints or a plastic palette only because I don't have enough room on my watercolor tray. You'll also need some paintbrushes, preferably one large paintbrush and one medium size. If you only have one size, no worries. For the stars, we'll need some white acrylic paint, which I like to use my plastic palette for. To apply the stars, you can either use a fine tip paintbrush or an old toothbrush. If you don't happen to have any white acrylic paint, you can also use white ink, a white gel pen, or a white paint marker. Let's go ahead and get started. For the first step, I'm going to tape down my watercolor paper at the edges with some masking tape. I found it easier to see through the masking tape than painter's tape, but both work wonderfully. You'll want about half of the width on the paper and half on a smooth surface. Be sure that the inner edges of your tape are pressed down well to your paper. Next, I like to prep my watercolor paints by adding just a bit of clean water to them to help soften them up and lift the pigment. For this project, we want to get a really good amount of that watercolor pigment to really make our painting stand out. Next, we're going to wet the full sheet of paper with our large brush and some clean water. I'd say let the water sit for a good 30 seconds and then add some more. We want enough so that your paper looks something like this. Wet, but without any puddles. As we work on our painting, we want to make sure our paper is always like this. You can remove any puddles of water from your paper with a dry brush and blot it onto your paper towel. Now it's time to take a medium-sized brush like this, wet it, and pick up your first color of choice. Here, I'm starting with the color blue and sticking to the corners and edges, avoiding areas where I want my galaxies to be. Eventually, I want to go dark on my edges, but with watercolor, it's best to go from light to dark. Although I want to work quickly so that my paper doesn't dry too fast, I'm making sure that there's enough pigment in those corners. If you already have a good amount of water in your paints, go ahead and swirl it around well with your brush to lift that pigment and apply it to your painting. Try to avoid grabbing clear water and applying it on top of the color so it doesn't get washed out. For my painting, I'm going to do my best to recreate the Cosmic Reef image, so I'm going to separate those two colorful areas of orange and blue. Again, we want to add a good amount of pigment to the wet paper, so when grabbing more paint, make sure your brush is always wet but not dripping. Here, I'm ready to start adding colors to the galaxies, but before I do, I want to add a little more water to make sure the color spreads nicely. I'm making sure not to get my brush into the blue areas. I'm going in with some orange paint right on the inside of the blue and then slowly blotting outwards towards it. Don't be afraid of your colors mixing. Blotting will help give your painting a cloudy effect. For now, I'll be focusing on this larger galaxy since it has a lot of color. If you start going into a darker colored area, you want to avoid going back into a lighter area. To help blend the lighter area, I'm going to rinse my brush, give it a few taps on the paper towel so it's not dripping, and then go in and blend. Now I'm going in with some more orange to help make it brighter. If you happen to get a little dark paint in an area you don't want, rinse your brush well, dry it up, and then use it like a sponge to soak up that spot. Remember, we're going to want some vibrant galaxy colors, so be sure to pick up and blot some bright colors into the lighter areas. Now I'm ready to start darkening the space away from my galaxies. For me, this is going to be the blue area that I have set up. I've taken a great amount of red pigment and tapped it into the blue, which as you can see, turns into a nice deep purple. I'm going now into my second galaxy, starting with a clean wet brush in the center and then gradually moving out to the blue to help give it a nice gradient. Again, if you happen to get any spots of color in places you didn't intend to put them, you can always blot them off, blend them in, or just go with it. All galaxies are beautifully unique. Now that I've added some color to my galaxies, I'm going to switch back into focusing on the outside space. It's great to go back and forth in different areas in a watercolor in order to keep it from drying too quickly. I'm now taking some black watercolor I have separated in this little container. Since black has a very strong pigment, keep in mind that this will easily stain your paper once added, so try to be patient, slowly working it in. Now that I've made some black blots in my outer space area, I'm going to rinse my brush again and blend it starting from the inner edge, moving out. If your paper is too wet, you might find that adding more water can fade out your colors. If this happens to you, just let it sit for a few seconds and then go back in with more color. In the meantime, continue blending where your galaxies meet the outer space. Now that you can see the areas of where your space is and your galaxies are, continue adding any additional colors to your galaxies. Make sure to wash your brush every time you change colors. Before letting your galaxy dry, you can take a piece of torn paper towel, bunch it up, and tap at the areas you want to lighten. This will soak up both water and pigment, so if you get any dark colors on there, you may want to use a new sheet if going into a lighter area, just like with your paintbrush. Now that this galaxy is close to done, I see that I want it just a little more vibrant, so I'm adding a bit of yellow and using a paper towel to help blend it in. Now coming back to my smaller galaxy, it's a little dry, so again I'm prepping it with clean water, starting from the center and moving out. This one I want to look a little like a ring or donut shape, so I'm taking some of that original blue I used in the beginning and adding it to the center to create depth. I've now dried my brush and I'm using it like a sponge to soak up some of that pigment, making sure it doesn't spread too much into the area that I want to keep light. I'm also going to use a piece of paper towel to help blend nicely, only blotting to the white ring. I'm going back to my first galaxy now that the pigments are starting to settle and just lightening up some areas. And now one last time, I'm darkening up the center of my second galaxy to create more depth, using my brush again like a sponge to help it blend. Now I'm ready for it to dry to see my results. You can use a blow dryer if you like to help speed up the process. Just be sure to use a low heat setting and move around constantly to keep your paper from warping. Now that your painting is dry, you can decide on whether or not your galaxy painting is as vibrant as you like. I felt like mine could be more vibrant and even darker in some areas, so I'm going to repeat my steps. I'm starting off by wetting my entire paper again. But instead of spreading the water with my large brush back and forth like the first time, I'm going to blot the water on, making sure to wash my brush every time I go into a light area and a dark area. This part is optional, so if you do this, just be sure to be patient, slowly adding water to your paper. Now that I've prepped my paper, I can now start adding pigment to my painting. Again, I'm starting with blue over my blue areas, and then purple over my purple areas. I'm also going to continue blotting any areas I feel may have been too dark. And now, just to focus on my galaxy, a little more orange to make it stand out. And since I'm getting closer to the finish, I'm just going to deepen up the outer space areas with a little more blue and purple. My final step was to just go ahead and blot away any areas that I wanted to lighten up or any spaces that had a little too much water. Here's a close-up of my paper once it finished drying. Now I'm ready for my stars. For this, I'm using a small amount of white acrylic paint and just a bit of water I've picked up using my toothbrush. You'll want the paint to be runny but not milky. This part can be a little messy, so I recommend removing the paper from your working area with the tape still attached and putting something you don't mind getting dirty underneath it. Prepare your toothbrush with the paint and hold it so that the bristles are facing down with a good grip on the handle. With one finger on the bristles, slide your finger down to flick the paint onto your paper as gently as you can. You can do this as many times as you like for as many stars as you please. If at this point you do not have an old toothbrush to use, you can always use the other options listed before. If you have any white spots that you don't want, you can take a clean dry brush and soak them up. Now that we're done, it's time to gently remove the tape, which I find to be the most satisfying part. And here we have this Cosmic Reef inspired watercolor galaxy. Thanks so much for joining me today in celebrating Hubble's 30th anniversary image. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you create a watercolor galaxy of your own, we'd love for you to share your work with us by tagging IMAS Museum and using the hashtag IMASArtist. Visit our website at theimasonline.org for more information on how the museum plans to continue celebrating.
Hi everyone! So for this activity we're going to be making some galaxy slime, and before we start I just want to go ahead and talk about the Hubble telescope since we are celebrating its 30th anniversary today. The Hubble telescope is really important to us because we're able to get a better glimpse into our universe. Usually when we look at through a telescope down here on Earth, there is a blockage of the atmosphere that we're not able to get such a clear image as opposed to when the Hubble telescope is out in space. It's actually located 340 miles above our atmosphere. So we have the atmosphere and then it's 340 miles way above that. And it's also about the size of the length of a school bus. So the next time you're on a school bus, you can think about how huge the Hubble telescope is. It travels around Earth 5 miles per second. That's the same speed as going from the East Coast to the West Coast in the United States in under 10 minutes. It's also solar powered. So solar powered means that it gets its energy to function from the sun. So it can't be working properly without the energy sun. Another cool fact about the Hubble telescope is that you're able to see stars that are really, really far away. We're going to be talking about stars today as well, since the Hubble telescope can detect a lot of the stars that we can't see here from here on Earth. Did you know that stars that are red in color are usually a lot colder in temperature? And usually stars that are blue are a lot hotter in temperature. One of the hottest stars known to us is found in the Orion constellation. The name is Betelgeuse, and this is thousands of light years away from us, but Hubble is able to capture a lot of different images from it. And if you do your own independent research, you can go onto the hubblesite.org or even NASA's site, and you can look at different images of Betelgeuse. So Betelgeuse is one of the biggest stars, and it's also known as a red supergiant star. You can find this as well on the lesson plan that's provided in the kit. There's going to be images of blue stars as well. Usually those are the ones that are a lot hotter in temperature, and usually those are a lot bigger as well. So the starlight of the different stars can also cause the colors in the galaxies that you see. This can range from purple to blue to even red. Usually that color of the galaxies is the light that's reflected from the stars. So you can see all these vibrant colors. So now that we have a better understanding of stars and the Hubble telescope, we can go ahead and get started with the slime activity. And you can go ahead and follow along with me. You also have your own lesson plan that you can look at if I'm going too fast for you. Go ahead and leave comments as well on how you are doing. And if you didn't get a kit, you can also download the PDF versions. We have it on our website as well. So for the galaxy slime that we're doing today, you're going to need a bowl, a popsicle stick, baking soda, contact solution, glitter, and glue. So the supplies that will be provided in the kit are the glue, glitter, baking soda, contact solution, and the popsicle stick. You don't have to do it in the bowl. You can do it in the baggie that the glue is in. You can just mix the ingredients in, but I'm gonna be using a bowl because I think that's easier. But you can go along with just the bag itself. I'm gonna pour the glue into the bowl here, and hopefully I'm able to get all of it out. We also have a Spanish version of the step-by-step here on the back that you can follow along with as well. And again, you don't have to do this. You don't have to use a bowl. You can just use the bag, but I want to be able to show you guys exactly what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be using the bowl. The glue that I have is a little bit milkier because I didn't have enough clear glue. So I mixed in a little of the white glue to complete the cup. Stuff that you're going to be receiving in the kit, like the glue, is pre-measured, so you're going to be needing a cup of the glue, and yours will be clear, and then 2 tablespoons of contact solution, 1 tablespoon of baking soda, and we're going to be providing some of the glue, some of the glitter on here, but if you want to add more, that's completely fine as well. So when putting the glue, if you do decide to put the glue into the bowl, your hands can get a little bit sticky. So just make sure to wash your hands right after. That way you won't have sticky hands when doing the rest. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with the first step here. And so now that we have all our supplies, we have the glue into the bowl, or if you want to do it in the baggie, that's fine as well. We're gonna go ahead and move on to step 2, and we're gonna pour in our baking soda, our glitter, and our contact solution. And I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the glitter. So with the glitter, there'll probably be different colors mixed in. I'm just using blue. If you have glitter around your house, or if you'd like to purchase some, you can add more than what we provide for you, so you can give it better coverage of the glitter. So I'm adding in the glitter. I'm gonna add in the baking soda as well. The baking soda is this white powder. I'm just gonna put it on top. And then I'm going to add the contact solution. Put these to the side. And the contact solution is 2 tablespoons. But again, if you feel you need a little bit more of the contact solution, if you have any, you can add some, but it should be fine. And we're just gonna start mixing. So that's our step 3 on the step-by-step, is where we just begin to mix. So my slime might look different than yours, since I added white glue to the glue rather than just all clear. But once you have a good consistency of the contact solution, just make sure to really mix it well, because I've noticed if I don't mix it as well, it just ends up being really clumpy. But you want to mix in the baking soda as well. With the clear glue, you'll be able to see where if the baking soda is mixing in. And then, so now that we've mixed it in, it's kind of like a clump. I'm gonna go in with my hands. I'm just gonna sort of knead at it. I have a black top, so I'm not gonna put it on the table, black cover. But if y'all have a separate table that you feel comfortable putting the slime on top, you can knead it on there as well. I'm just gonna use my hands. You're just gonna keep kneading it. Right now it does look really slimy, very sticky, but as long as you just keep kneading it, passing it back and forth, stretching it a little, it should start to come together. If you feel like you need, there might be a little bit of contact solution at the bottom. If you feel you need to grab a little bit more, you can do that. You can do this also in the bag. Once you add all the ingredients, you can sort of close the bag up and just kind of like, if you don't want to get your hands dirty. See how it's starting to stretch more? So mine, I could have added a little bit more glitter. It's not gonna look completely clear because I added white glue to it. But in your kit, you're gonna have completely clear glue, and it's gonna look a lot more cool than this. You can stretch it. And your slime should be complete. But just make sure to keep kneading it, because it will get sticky, but as long as you keep kneading it, it'll pick up everything else if you're using your hands. But like I said, you can use the bag as well if you don't want to get your hands dirty. And your slime should be complete. Now you can sort of play with it and stretch it out. You can make it as big as you want. I like watching it sort of stretch out. I don't know if you can do it with this one, but if you wait a couple of seconds, it'll start to kind of stretch out, and then you envelope. If you have any questions or any comments, you can leave it in the comment section below. If you'd like to share with us what you guys are doing as well, you can always tag us with a photo at Explore IMAS, IMAS Artists, or Hubble 30th. And that's basically it, guys. Yeah, that's how it should look like. If it doesn't look like this, if you feel it needs a little bit more contact solution, you can grab some and you can pour it in just in tiny amounts, and so I just fold it in and go over it. But the 2 tablespoons should be plenty enough. Yeah, I like the sounds that it makes. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what you guys make and how it turns out. You guys can add different colors of glitter. In the kit, I will be mixing in some of the glitters, so it will look more of a kind of like a starry night. But it still looks cool here.
Thank you so much for joining the IMAS today and celebrating the Hubble's 30th anniversary. If you would like to share anything that you made today, you can use the hashtags IMASArtist, Explore IMAS, or Hubble30. I hope you guys enjoyed the activities today, as well as learned something about how we use the Hubble telescope to discover galaxies. For more information, visit us at theimasonline.org.